Castrol Super Clean All-Wheel Cleaner. Your host for Motorweek, John Davis.
Well, hello and welcome again to Motorweek. We're glad to have you with us. When Mercedes-Benz introduced their ML430 sport utility vehicle last year, it was an immediate success and demand still far outstripped supply. But not everyone anxious for a Mercedes Sport Ute wants the ML430. That's because it's powered by a V6 engine. To get some Sport Ute fans to sign on the dotted line, it's gotta have a V8. Well, now their SUV desires have been fulfilled in the Mercedes-Benz ML430. Will the waiting list grow even longer? Well, only if you like the sound of a powerful V8 in front of you, superb highway manners, and an interior with room for 5 loaded with plenty of top drawer standards. If these things don't appeal to you and you still have a clean bill of mental health from your doctor, you should probably look elsewhere. But for those looking to move up or into the premium Sport Ute segment, the 1999 Mercedes-Benz ML430 deserves your serious consideration. Starting right up front under the hood with the ML's new 4.3-liter single overhead cam V8. That, like the original V6 ML320, features heads with twin-plug 3-valve technology sitting on top of an aluminum block. Tying those cylinder heads together is a super lightweight magnesium intake manifold boasting the longest intake runners in the industry. The result is plenty of low and mid-range torque. 288 pound-feet, in fact, available between 3,000 and 4,500 RPM, not to mention the 268 horsepower output at 5,500 RPM. And that's enough motivation to run the 4,552-pound ML430 to 60 in 8 seconds, or 1.2 seconds faster than the ML V6, on the way to a quarter mile of 16.1 seconds at 87 miles per hour. Now, our drivers note that the launch is still a little sluggish, but once the tack hits $3,000, the ML430 takes off like an off-road rocket. Out in the real world, the 5-speed electronically controlled transmission manages engine output in a near-flawless manner, delivering shifts so smooth they're almost invisible. But like a lot of German products we've tested recently, once up to speed, the ML requires a rather heavy foot to induce downshifting. Almost as smooth as the powertrain is the ML's handling. The fully independent suspension features double wishbone control arms, torsion bars, twin-tube shocks, and a stabilizer bar up front. A nearly identical setup is found at the rear, but with coil springs. All riding on new, larger 17-inch wheels shod with huge 275/55R mud and snow tires. The ML430, with its 111-inch wheelbase, delivers up what is undeniably the most civilized ride in the Sport Ute segment. Not only civilized, but quite nimble as well, as a proper thrashing through our slalom reveals precise turn-ins with just a touch of understeer and the rock-solid stability of the ML's rugged body-on-frame construction. But the overly heavy and slow feel of the power-assisted rack and pinion steering at low speeds will make parking lot maneuvers tiresome. Mercedes' electronic stability program is standard fare on the ML430, but the ML is so sure-footed that only very hazardous road conditions or extreme ignorance behind the wheel should activate it. The full-time four-wheel drive system requires no activation unless you're diving off-road into treacherous terrain that requires low range. Then all it takes is the push of a button to engage it. The ML's 4x4 system uses an electronic traction control system which breaks slipping wheels and sends torque to those with the most traction. Under normal condition, torque is evenly split between the front and rear axles, and you can get 3 wheels stuck and keep going. Braking is excellent under any conditions, as the large 13-inch vented disc at the front and rear, controlled by 4-channel ABS, brought us down from 60 in an average 125 feet. Nosedive is minimal and ABS feedback is not intrusive. And for panic stops, brake assist is added this year to make sure you stop as short as possible. In the styling department, the ML430 adds body-colored bumpers, rocker panels and side cladding, and the aforementioned 17-inch wheels to distinguish it from the ML320. Inside, the ML430 and 320 are also nearly identical, but the 430 includes as standard all of the items in the 320's M1 option package. That includes firm but supportive 8-way power-operated bucket seats wrapped in leather and heated. They face a tilt steering wheel that's also leather-bound. But we still don't care for the placement of the cruise control. It's too easy to hit when reaching for the turn signal lever. Or the lightweight and way too shallow dash-mounted cup holders that bounced one staffer's 20-ounce soda into his lap upon hitting a pothole. The Bose AM/FM cassette stereo delivers excellent sound, and its controls, as well as the climate controls below, are well marked and within easy reach. In the back, the leather bench is sculpted for 3 passengers, although full-size adults will find it overly cozy. The 3 seat backs each fold separately, or the entire seat folds forward 1/3, 2/3, or all together. They also adjust for legroom. Seats down, there is a nearly flat cargo floor with 85.4 cubic feet of space. An optional 3rd row seat will be coming later in the year, although we suspect it will be child size only. Naturally, this premium sport ute carries a premium price. Base sticker for the ML430 is $43,750. That's $8,800 more than the ML320. A pretty steep boost even with leather and wood trim, a few more creature comforts, and a second plus off the 60-mile-per-hour Sprint. It's also nearly $10,000 more than the new and impressive Jeep Grand Cherokee. Still, we understand the Grand Cherokee is no Mercedes, and for those that demand V8 capabilities and optimal prestige, the ML430 has no equal. When we dubbed the Mercedes-Benz ML330 marvelous and crowned it with Motorweek's Driver's Choice Award, we hadn't considered that the ML430 would be even more so. Coming up, Heelys for the whole family. To get the most out of ABS brakes on your car, remember